Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test room. Yeah, the ads were disabled. I disabled them for the beginning bit. They're enabled now. Anyway, look, let me stop this because this is all too jolly. BeatMaker, very, very, very clever app. It's very entertaining as well, and you can do some really nice stuff with it. Like you can export the stems, you can export the loop. I found exporting the loop to be really, really good once you find one you like, sort of thing, other than kind of messing around with the stems. But the stem export works. I just couldn't get it to work in AUM today. But yesterday it worked, which is very strange. And I know that it works for other people. Anyway, the idea here is that BeatMaker will generate 1, 2, 4... or 8 bars of music for you, and you can use. Let's get that out of the way. And you can use these. You're free to use these in your own royalty-free performances and stuff like that. You can take the track because it's generative music. It's not likely to generate the same thing twice ever. The permutations are astronomical, you know. So you can kind of please yourself how you want to use this. Right. So how does it work? Well, easy peasy. We have X amounts of levels of backwards and forwards pair loops that we're playing with. And you'll see the beats will change down here as well. Okay, and these are different ones that I've generated. Up here, you will see it says default C major. If we tap on this, this is where we can tell BeatMaker how we want it to behave. Now, we can use chord builder mode. And if we switch it on by hitting that little, info button there. And then you can decide if it's going to be major, minor, diminished, augmented, suspended, fourth. It's more fun not. But if we do this, close that, and we choose the default one here, we can choose the key. So we can have it to be completely random, like that. And then the style here, we have chiptune, cinematic, or default. I wish the buttons were a bit bigger, because I keep missing them. Okay, so or default. So it's chiptune, cinematic, or default. So let's do a cinematic. Song mode automatically arranges the generated beats and bars. Or it kind of gives you 8. If I take this off, I'm guessing it will generate 2 or 4. So to generate a new one, all we need to do is this, and you'll see it says it's generated as one in cinematic, G minor, and it's generated 2 bars. So you can see there's little dots along the top here. 4 of those dots represent 1 bar, another 4 represent 2. We can go into here. Here. This is our mixer. And you'll see that we've got 2 bars. Now we can add bars as well. And we can do other cool stuff with this, which I'll show you as well. So let's listen to what we've generated, shall we? Quite nice, actually. Okay, so that's quite cool. It's 48 BPM. We can go in here and we could say, well, let's make it 60 BPM. And if we wanted our next generated piece of music be the same beats per minute, we'd just hit this little lock icon here. And the next one we generate would also be 60 BPM. We don't need to worry about things like that. So say for instance, yeah, we'll like that, but we're going to make some changes to it. Okay, so this is very cool. Here's our loop. Let's go into here, which is our container off now, into our mixer, and you'll see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can't initially decide how many parts this is. But what you can do is take parts away and add parts up to a number of 7 different parts. Now at the moment you'll see there's a couple of little icons around here. So let's listen to the beat. And we speeded it up, right? So let's solo this one. We can, if we use the little rotate icon at the top, it will randomize the sequence. And it's playing over the 2 bars. If we want to lock a bar, we hit this little icon here and it will stay on bar 2. And then then we can add another bar. So let's add 2 more bars. So we've got 4 bars now. And it'll generate random sequences. If we hit this little icon, the little fast forward icon, it changes the instrument. You cannot choose the instruments. It generates them randomly, so you choose the next one. But we're in cinematic style, so it's going to stay within the cinematic vibe. It's going to change the instrument, but not the pattern. Let's randomize the pattern again. Okay, now this is cool, right? This is really cool. If we want to make adjustments to it ourselves, we'll just tap the little icon below where the instrument is, and it takes us into the MIDI roll. Now you can see it will change for each bar. Let's engage the infinity icon, which will lock that bar in place. And this is where we can basically program in our own sequence. You know? So let's stop it and let's stop it and take a look at the options. Hand options, the first one, which means you can pick any of these notes up and move them around to whatever you like. And then how awesome is that? Hi Doug, is that for iOS or is it an AUV3? It's an it's not AUV3, but it is iOS. It's not AUV3, but it is iOS and it's called BeatMaker. So look. So we've made some. Now our next button, which is the little wand, means we can add notes in. Okay, we can choose this button here and basically just erase everything. And let's kind of just then maybe put a few back in. So let's go with our button here. And what was our key? We'll stick on some C's, that'll be fine. Just for fun. So this is our first bar. Our second bar now, if we take it off, randomize. So let's do this. Let's take this off just for a sec. And let's randomize the patterns. Go back in. So it's randomized the pattern properly for us, for all of them. Great. For example, what we can also do is we can kind of zoom in to an area. Delete any area, and you see these little buttons down here. These will they'll make the first bar into the first note sort of thing into a triplet like that. Or you can kind of just tap them again and bring them back so you can mix and match, so you can get some nice rhythmic ideas. You can import your own samples as well. Yes, I will show you that in a sec. So let's take the infinity off again and play the whole sequence. So for any area that you are in, let's lock that up again. If you didn't want these notes, you can hit this little X here and it will delete them like this, and then you can sort of randomly draw them back in. So I'm just going to do this again, and I'm going to randomize the pattern. Now, let's change the instrument. Okay, now, let's see. Let's stop it again. We can choose our own, we can use our own samples as well. So if we choose this little icon here, we can go attach custom sample. We can also record in a custom sample, except I haven't got anything plugged into the record bar, my voice, and you know, we don't want to do that. But you can record in a custom sample from your guitar or whatever you like. Attach custom sample. Yes, thank you, I will. Now, here I am in, I'm thinking it's, where is it? Maybe, right. Let's see. I'm going to go to audio share files here, and I'm going to look for something, one shot here. Now these are by MobileMusicPro. MobileMusicPro made these. These are one shot, and they are all in the key of C. They are all one shots on the note of C. So let's maybe go with a brass here, and you'll see it says brass, brass, brass. I'm not sure what they sound like, but we can always change them back out. So maybe we'll choose this one here. Okay, now that's loaded our custom sample in, and that will sound like this. Very nice. Let's choose another one. Okay. So that we've done that now, so that's fine. So that's basically what I do. You leave our custom sample in there, and we'll leave it on the pattern it's on. Fine, cool beans. We can also go in and edit our custom sample if we want to. So it says edit sample, and that's where you can kind of do a little bit of editing on the sample and stuff like that. Anyway, and that's where the screen you get if you recorded your sample in too. So it's really good. Okay, let's bring some other instruments in. Now, it starts to sound a little odd. Just refresh the... and it'll... Here we go. So, brilliant. So we've worked really hard on our piece. This is what I would suggest you do. G minor. These two little dots here, we'll open this up like this, and it says save beat, load beat. Load beat, kind of self-explanatory. Load any beat you've saved. You can delete a beat. You've got settings. I'll go into them in a sec. You can share the beat, rate the app, tutorial, export a Midi file, as well as render and export audio files. So exporting the Midi file is also quite handy as well, I would think. Save beat. We'll call this... sad classic, and it's C, what was it, CM, C minor. So we'll save that, and that's saved in our what's it's now. Right, before we go any further, we start carrying on messing around with the app. I'll have a drink of me beer. Oh, it's better. Right, so go here again. Render audio file. Now we can render all like this, you see. So if we do that, let's render all of those. So you can choose which ones you want to render. We won't select stems or anything like that, but we will render all, right? Render. Now this is what I was saying before. So I'm going to render all of those, and I'm going to go to audio share, and it's called, well, whatever it was I called it, audio share. And let's see, sad classic is the only file that it's rendered, right? So which is all of them. It's rendered the whole thing. Now, I wouldn't suggest, this is what happened to me earlier, right? I'll close this again and I'll do it. And I don't know why this is, because it was working yesterday. I'm not sure if I'm doing something wrong. Maybe Sam's here, he can tell me. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to save beat. Oh, I've done that, haven't I? I'll call it something. No, I'll leave it as it is. Doesn't matter. Side classic. I can see what it is. Do this. Render audio file. And I'm going to go stems. Now, do I need to have... Maybe not. Maybe... right. I'm going to try and just render the step. Oh, no, I can't, you see. Because there's no option now to render anything. So I'm going to have to go and render them. Like this. Render. Stems is selected. It says 5 documents. It's 17 meg, right? Okay, fine. I shall maybe save to audio share again. And there's a new one here. Look, Sad Classic. Sad Classic. Pad. But none of my other stems. Right. Okay. Thank you, Sam. Right. Brilliant. Cheers. Okay. So, all right. Let's try. All right. Let's try this. Because that would make sense, right? Because it wouldn't. I don't understand why it wouldn't work. It's it's just file exporting. Let's try it again. Let's go render audio file. Let's choose stems. Let's go render. And this time let's render to maybe more. But where else can I render it to? Oh, this is so naff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's no big deal. I'm going files. I'm going to save it to files, right? I'm going to save it to downloads, right? So downloads in the files app. I'm just going to hit save. Hopefully this will work. Right, thanks, Colin. Files. Let's just open it up. Let's go to files. Let's go to our downloads. And let's see if any of these files have downloaded. It's a mess in it. So I did choose downloads, right? Can anyone see them? Because I can't. Let's try. Okay. Right, so that obviously clearly is not worked. I'm going to try. Right, I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to choose stems. Loop works absolutely fine. I'll try searching next time. Let me rename this then, so I know what I'm going to save this beat. I'm going to call it AA11 beat. Okay, so it should be relatively simple to find. AA11 beat. Ding. Save. Right, so, and then I'm going to go render audio file, stems, render, and save to files. And this time I'll save it in a specific folder, right? So I will save it into, so it's easier. I will save it into this pack now, which is the one of Daniel's, Zvon. And I'm just going to go save 5 items, right? Save Zvon pack 12, save. All right, are we clear on this? Hopefully this will work. Gonna go downloads and look for, it should be down the bottom somewhere. Zvon pack 12. Oh, look, my mistake here was there's loads of stuff in here already. Right. right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a new folder. Is it blinking on then? Oh, here it is here. I'm going to make this up. I'm going to call it Beatly Pro. This might be better actually. Beatly Pro. Right, Beatly Pro, Beatly Pro. So there it is. Beatly Pro. Awesome. Let's take that out again. Right. Let's go. Rendered audio file. Stems. Render. Files. Beatly Pro should be the first one there. Beatly Pro. Save. Right. Now, hopefully we've got this in here now. So downloads, Beatly Pro, 5 items. Yes! Yes! Success! Brilliant! Brilliant! Anyway, so there are our stems. So that's a good way of doing it. Brilliant, top job. So that's how you would do it. Just follow my blundering process of doing this, and you'll get them in. Make a folder called Beatly Pro. Now, again, on another point, I'm going to do this. So let's generate a new. Let's go into this. Let's go into where it says style. We're gonna go with default. Oh, we'll go with Chiptune. Let's go with Chiptune. Going to generate in the key of A. You can choose your thing if you want to go into chord progression builder. Let's do song mode like this, so it'll generate like 68 bars. And let's go boing like this. It's got Chiptune, A major. Now, brilliant. I'm not even going to change nothing because I'm going to export the loop this time. So render audio file. I'm just going to choose loop, right? So it's going to export the entire thing as an absolutely perfectly loop. Now, where can I do this? Let's see. Again, maybe we can do it to files. Let's do. I'm going to go on my iPad and I'm going to stick this into BeatMaker 3 and I'm going to put it into the imports folder, save. What was the BPM of this, by the way? Did anyone notice? I'll have a look in a sec. That's going to 86 BPM. So remember that, 86 BPM, just for fun. Right. All right, so we've got our loop. Hopefully it'll be in BeatMaker. Let's see, shall we? Let's go into BeatMaker. Let's go new session. Let's go to our thing here. Let's go to our thing folder, imports. But there it is, 86 BPM. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just drag that in there. Yeah. So hopefully now, so is it detected the correct BPM? Has it? Like, where's me BPMs? What did I say it was? 86. We're going to set it. We'll do it at 86. What it was, 86, and then just so it lines up when we stick it on our pads. Right. So hopefully, there's off. There it is. I'm going to put this across all the pads. So I just need to do a couple of things. I'll set that show group to 1 and also go into slice mode here. I'm going to auto slice it to 16, so it's across the 16 thingies. Okay, I'm going to save slice to pads. I'm going to set the choke group the same as that one, so each one will cut itself off. Create pattern is off, don't worry about that. Start pad 1, apply, and now let me change the color as well. I don't like that color. Just make it a nice purple color. And now we should have our awesome. So now we can awesome. Oh, you could do it, go in and do further editing. So that is how you would do it in BeatMaker. You could slice it up all you like. And of course you could use your stems as well if you want to do things like loopy and stuff. You saw how we got them in via the what's it. Anyway, awesome. So let's generate a few more loops and let's see what else there is. Now there is this thing here is basically records your output, and then you can save it wherever you wish. The looping is better. It is just like Machine. It is just like Machine, Colin. But it's actually it's brilliant. BeatMaker is, but it's there's a curve, you know. There's a learning curve. I'd love to start doing some BeatMaker tutorials, because the sampler is probably the best sampler on the planet. It really is. You could do some absolutely brilliant stuff with the sampler. Anyway, so we've got this Chiptune. Now, this is what I was saying about adding and taking away instruments. You see, if each time you generate something, this may be a variable amount of instruments. You can't choose that, okay? But what you can do is add and subtract instruments. So, look, this is generated, what, five instruments? Right, let's do another. And it's generated 5. Let's do another. 5 again. What the... This time it generated 6, so it's quite random. Sometimes it only does 3. Now here's the thing, right? The mixer part is really interesting, Christopher. You're right. Here's the thing. You've seen that we can randomize the pattern. You've seen that we can go into any individual section and change the MIDI. You will also see that on the drums and maybe some other instruments as well, the MIDI section has more than one instrument. It'll say bass drum there, and you'll see that the bass drum is highlighted. Okay, so if I say, like, let's go to our mixer, go close. Sorry, let me see. So I just solo the drums, go back into the MIDI. There's the kick, and if we do this, we can look at the claps, or that snare. So you could build your own complete. See, there's the snare, and it's tracking across all 8 of these bars. So if you want to work on one section, don't forget you hit infinite, and it'll just keep looping that particular section for you until you're done with it. So maybe we could go, right, okay, well, let's randomize the kit. Oh, sorry, that's randomizing the pattern. Now, you'll see here, it says 1 1 2 2 1 1 3 3, because it's randomizing what repeats and what doesn't. We can, if we want to move any of these instruments around, right, we can just, that's deleting them. I want to, there you go. If we want to put a 2 next to the 1, we just do this, drag and drop quickly, and a 3 next to the 2. If we want this, this is where it gets tricky, right? If I listen to this pattern 1 now and 2, so I'm going to take out, I'm going to get rid of all these patterns bar 1 and 2. So let's just listen to those 2 patterns, okay? Could have started it here, by the way. Completely different, right? In fact, let's go in. Maybe I have to be stopped to get rid of the Midi. I thought. Alright, got to long hold it. So on the second pattern, I've taken out the bass. So what will it sound like now? So on the second pattern, I took out the bass. So the first, get rid of this. On the first pattern here, let's press play. And the bass is gone for the second pattern. What if you want pattern, let's put a pattern 3 in as well. But if you want pattern 1, or what does pattern 3 sound like first? Oh, I don't need to do this. Right, we know pattern 2 is completely different than pattern 3. If we want pattern 2, right, if we want pattern 2 to be copied over to pattern 3, we tap this little icon here, which is the looks like a file icon. We long hold the pattern and then we start to move, and you'll see a little file icon appears there. Have a little go, it'll go away, but if that's highlighted, a little file icon. And then if I move it here, you'll see a little drop icon, or if I move it here, so it means I can copy pattern 2's data, MIDI data, instruments and stuff, MIDI data, over to pattern 3. Now we know pattern 2 is empty. We know pattern 3 had bass in it and stuff like that. So if we drop it here, we can say, well, we don't want to do that. We made a mistake. Or, yeah, let's do that. Now pattern 3 still says pattern 3, but listen, it'll be the same as pattern 2. Okay. Oh my. Let's stop. Let's generate a completely new idea. Okay. Three instruments, right? It's just what I say. I mean, it's randomized, which is perfect actually for this. Right. So we can. These buttons need to be bigger. We can, mix as much as we like. Now, here's the thing. If we go into our little drop down thing here, this is where we can add, and I think we can add up to 7. It will only let you add so many. It will, if you can't add more, it won't let you add more in. Or we can take them out. So maybe we could, if we wanted to, we could take out that, and now our little melody will be gone. And now it'll just be bass and drums. Let's add this in to add it like a guitar type, which is like another melodic content one. Let's add another. How brilliant is it? Let's add another. Now we can get a bit cacophonous if we had too many in a particular genre or a particular style. And then we could start saying, well, okay, let's see if we can make it less of a row by making some adjustments to like the instruments or the volume levels and stuff and things. Let's see how that goes. Sounds better. I don't know. Let's add some. Great. Now you must remember that when you find one you like, to save it, okay? Because you only have a limited number of backwards and forwards. So if I go backwards now, and then we could go. Okay, so yeah, we have time. Let's do a few more. Let's maybe do some of the cinematic. Maybe. Let's have a random key. So go to random. Let's go with style cinematic. Let's stick with song mode because it gives us a full 8 bars. We can mess around with anything we like then, sort of things. So, hi Tommy. Hope you are okay. Hello to everybody as well, by the way. Anyway, so cinematic is nice. Yeah, let's generate some. Let's generate. We've got cinematic style. Let's go cinematic F major. Lovely. Hi Daniel. I was just meat vapes ran out of batteries. What I like doing is going in and maybe adding more instruments or swapping instruments out. And ship the MIDI patterns up in Cubase's. There you go. Because you can export your MIDI patterns as well. Awesome stuff. Thanks, darling.
There you go, darling. Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's. Thanks, darling. Since we'd have entered the room. Oh, no vape. No vape, Sam. I don't smoke. Let's do another. Oh, let's add some more instruments. It's not smoke, it's water vapor, and it creates vapor. We can do it's better. Rock and roll. It's quite nice, isn't it, really? I think it's really nice. So, like, if you like that as something kind of spooky, you could just turn that back into a 3 instrument pattern. So, is it E minor? Is it E minor? I'll call it bleak. I would recommend you when you name your loop to put the key signature in as well, because otherwise, if you want to use it, you want to use it in something else like BeatMaker or something, Cubase or wherever you wish, loopy. But awesome in loopy, and you'll know the key if you want to play along with other stuff and things, or if you want to kind of pitch things up and down and stuff. Oh, this is nice as well, isn't it? Nice right off the bat. You know what you could do? Because the loops are perfectly set to loop. What you could do is you could export like variations of the same loop without having to worry too much about the stems. Like, so for instance, that could be your first loop. Then you could export, because don't forget it's going across 8 bars. Yes, exactly, Christopher. You could, and this is a good point as well, because if you can lock in, let's lock the key, like so, key random, but there, let's lock the key to C. Or maybe if we go into chord generator builder, switch that on, select minor. Hopefully, if we generate now, D major. I don't know what, I'm not sure how to use chord builder properly yet, so I really need to read the instructions on that. But it's another nice one, really good. Right, let's see. Let's go this time with not song mode and leave the key as random. Style can be default. Now this is more like your hip hop, rap kind of lo-fi generator. So some really nice stuff can be done with this. So let's generate and it's a nice drum sound, that is. And don't forget, like I said, you know, you can just go in and program the drums as you like. It's really clever. I think it's a really clever app. I'll be doing piano motifs soon. That's another really great app. guys. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. If you liked the video, strike the like, consider becoming a patron, or subscribe to the channel. I think it's really enjoyable, BeatMaker. I think it's a very, very entertaining app. I think it's really, really clever. You can literally have hours of fun with this thing, especially when you start mixing, breaking things down. Three genres as its chiptune, then the default one, which like is a very like rap, lo-fi kind of hip-hoppy type vibe, and then yeah, cinematics. Really, really clever stuff, and it's really great. And gosh, it's easy to use, isn't it? God. Anyway, guys, I'll let you say ta-ra to each other for a few minutes. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Bless you all, and hopefully I will see you all tomorrow. Ta-ra! Know the developer was here. Hello, developer of BeatMaker. It's a marvelous, marvelous app.